The 808. The 808 is the greatest piece of gear ever made on planet Earth. It's the best drum machine in the world and pretty much the best sounding drum machine. And if it wasn't for the 808, matter of fact, my license plate says 808 beat on my car. So that goes to show how dope the 808 is.
We gonna keep it moving. Let's go. Oh yeah. This is where we start to breathe. Panic zones, the future world. Panic zones, the future world.
I mean, definitely, like growing up in the hood, I mean, you know, we didn't have money growing up, so we would do things to make money, whether it was legal or not legal. But when we found that we could make money DJing and doing music, it was one of those things where we had that hunger to like, oh man, I can make $1,000 doing a beat, or I can make $10,000 doing a record, or $100,000 doing a record. So that was definitely the driving force coming from the hood to better myself. And then on top of like now, since I'm successful, I go back and help the younger kids and the young adults coming up who want to do music. I kind of mentor them and help them to do the same thing. Back in the 80s and 90s, like the whole electro funk movement in LA was kind of like this experimental thing. We had a lot of DJs who played in big clubs, and we used to DJ for like 5,000 and 10,000 people in Los Angeles. And we got together one time and bought a drum machine and started using our drum machine on stage, and we found that people would dance when we played drum beats. So then we started going, wait a minute, people are dancing when we're making drum beats instead of records. Maybe we can make records too. So that was the beginning of the whole electro movement on the West Coast, is the fact that we were playing beats, people were dancing and partying to our beats. So the next step from that was doing music.
You are mine, all mine. I see wasted time. I release my mind. You say it's so fine. You are mine, all mine. I release my mind. You can see my mind. I release so fine. I rock the forest. I rock the world. I rock the freaks. I rock the girls.
90s was a little different. The 90s on the West Coast was kind of a change, because I went from doing electro music to being in a group called NWA, and we did gangster rap. So it was kind of like this bridge from electro music into gangster rap, and that kind of killed electro on the West Coast.
I rock the girls worldwide. I rock your mind, I'm still inside. I rock the beats with 808s. I rock the freaks with bricks and six. And now we're here, we never left. We cannot fear, we bring us left. It's static, you are mine, all mine. I see bricks in time, I release my mind. You say it's so fine, you are mine, all mine. I release my mind, you can see my mind. I release so fine, static.
I guess people really started digging the gangster rap and, you know, the whole image of the hood and that kind of music, and it really, you couldn't have those kind of parties. You couldn't have the up-tempo dance parties anymore, because the gangster music had kicked in and people were just really into that.
Static. Static. Static.
Everybody was against NWA. I mean, the government took a gore. They started doing regulations and rules to, you know, like stop us from doing the music. They started putting stickers on our albums saying explicit lyrics, but, you know, we just kept going, and all that did was make the music bigger. I own a lot of analog gear, which I still use from time to time, but because I travel so much, I use a lot more computer-based stuff like Reason and Native Instruments Complete 7 and Native Instruments Machine, and so I kind of blend a lot of my analog stuff with a lot of plugins and a lot of computer-based software. Like all the different AKAs I have, Arabian Prince, Professor X, I do those because it's for a specific type of music. So I have a new thing coming out called Funky Little Anime, which is an animated group. So I'm going to do a different kind of music for that. So every time I explore into a new type of music, I come up with another identity to do that music. Mind and your ass will follow. Also from a Parliament Funkadelic record back in the day, free your mind and your ass will follow. The kingdom of earth is within, or the kingdom of heaven is within. That's what it says. See, I remember that. My favorite dish is Entertainers, Arabian Prince, aka Professor X, on Entertainment's television, radio. I'm here. I got a mic, there's a camera, and I'm a ham. Let's go.
One time and a place to be, once again, Arabian Prince, aka Professor X, all the way from Los Angeles, California, rocking y'all.